Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Indie Choice Picks. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for checking out these shows that I've been doing since the whole lockdown thing. I know a lot of you are creators and you're kind of looking in the direction of how can I make this Kickstarter or Indiegogo work, and how do I get started from that? Well, this is what I like to do, have people share their knowledge and give it to you guys. So I really appreciate that. My view counts and subscribers are starting to kind of go up a little bit. So that's always fun to watch. But today we have some returning guests, the creators of the Mythosverse, and if you don't remember them, I will put their link to my original interview in the description. I read their comics, really fun story, how they're all intertwined and connected. We have Adobe Kruger, Changeling, and Mythics. So they're really cool stories. I applaud everyone to go check them out, and check out my original interview with the crew of the Mythosverse. So here they are again. Let's see what they have to say. Keep in mind, folks, that during the interview we experienced some technical difficulties, so if you see the footage kind of jump from one section to another, I apologize. The crew is really cool about it, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Now, without further ado, on to the interview.
To think and reflect, and we learn a little bit more about her as the action goes on. And I'm thinking that everyone's going to thoroughly enjoy like where I'm taking the action. It's like it starts very simply with her facing one person, and then by the end of issue 2, the action is just ridiculously escalated.
Okay.
But I think it's all supposed to be a first mission that she will never forget.
Gotcha. Okay, guys, real quick, I think when Brett joined, it kind of ended the recording, so I just restarted the recording again. So I know. It's okay, guys. It's okay. I'll figure it out. But just to kind of recap everything that you guys just said, so Mystics is running right now in this campaign. You guys are nearly done. That'll be something to look forward to in June. We're going to get a little bit more of the story with Adobe Kruger. That looks really good. A little bit more into the action side of it and who these characters are. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, just kind of rolling through this. I'm sorry. I
No
thought I was
worries.
recording. My bad. And then, Brett, you are the creator of Changelings here. What can we expect to see from issue number 2?
Well, we're definitely going to follow up on what was established in the first issue. There's going to be more exploration of Avalon, the Fey realm, and I'll say this right off the bat because I don't want to give too much away. I really want the impact to be there when people see this. But so far, all the feedback that I've been getting, at least of Victor's line work, is that he's improved tremendously from it on the last issue. And like everyone is saying that the line work is much more refined, and Ginger's coming up with so many cool ideas that we are going to be using in this issue. Like, I honestly believe the art for this issue is going to blow the last issue out of the water.
You guys are still working with the people who did the original art for the first issues, right?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. I was telling Matt and Brett that if for whatever reason Leandro is unable to continue, I'm just going to like cancel the book because honestly he has created the look and feel of the book that I wanted to such a great extent that I'm not sure I could replace him without a serious amount of work.
Right.
And,
Yeah. That kind of goes back to like me too, because I have an artist that does most of my work, and I'm OCD with consistency. So if something looks different from the original, it irks me. Like people are telling me, don't worry about it. It's just, as long as you tell the story and the art is like good, it's fine. But if it doesn't look the same, then it just bothers me. I don't know why that is. Is anyone else like that?
well, it's like a TV show where season 3 they replace an actor.
Right.
It's kind of like no,
Like
I
when
don't.
they were like a match when they replaced BJ with Trapper.
Yeah, like even my daughter gets it. Like when she was watching the first 2 Harry Potter films, and then we go to number 3, she's like, "That's not Dumbledore." Like who's
Okay, so now, because that was okay. Mash was a bad example because BJ and Trapper were two different characters.
Yeah, I mean it's like even kids get it. It pulls you out of the show or the story. Like the immersion is almost ruined. And
I was always thinking that, like, okay, the original Dumbledore from the first two Harry Potter movies, how would he have been like? Could they have made him as badass as they did with the current Dumbledore? You know, because that Dumbledore had like a more authoritative kind of feel to him. He was more like powerful. But like the old Dumbledore, he was just like, Dumbledore. You know, Dumbledore didn't get really like this shit until like the later books, like the Order of the Phoenix and beyond that.
right,
So.
right. He was just like this grandfatherly authority figure that was,
Right.
for the most part, pretty cuddly. But yeah, the thing is, it's like she didn't quite get that was the same character for a little while. And to your point, it's like if someone were to replace Leandro, it would be very difficult for me, especially to feel as strongly about it, because
Right.
I searched for an artist to draw Adobe Kroger for a long time, and there are so many amazing artists out there. I mean, it's ridiculous just how many talented folks there are, and a shocking number of them are in the Philippines, oddly enough.
Yes, they are. My artist is in the Philippines. Hey, Ronell, hope
Yeah,
you're watching.
yeah, and so is Luigi from the Rags team. So I don't know what it is with the Philippines. There's something in the water there, but they have some godly artists over.
They are. I don't know what they're doing over there.
They did have Will Spartasio.
Yeah,
They're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but their art is so fucking fantastic. When I saw Ronell's art, I gave him, because whenever I hire an artist, I give them a test, like, hey, draw this in your style. I don't care how you do it, just do it, make it look like however you do it. And they come back and it's like, how long did it take you to do that? Oh, like 2 hours. I'm like, what? No way.
Yeah.
If I did, I had to guess though, it's that I don't know if this contributes to it or anything, but I know that a lot of anime studios outsource work to the Philippines, so like there's a lot of artists getting a lot of practice out there.
Yeah, maybe. But Will, that's exactly how I found Leandro. I actually was searching for an illustrator for a while, and I just commissioned like 5 or 6 different artists, and said, draw this character for me. And the only one that got it perfect was Leandro. And thankfully, he was also a very polite and professional artist, and very prompt and very easy to work with, and just overall a really nice guy. So
yeah, most of them over in the Philippines are very polite, and they're very they just have manners. They talk differently. They have a different. I would assume it's probably the culture, because a lot of people in the Philippines are really family orientated. They just respect people out of just being given respect. That's what they do. So I've never met. Well, I wouldn't say Americanized Filipinos, but even over here, they're pretty fucking respectable. They respect everyone who respect them. They're pretty nice people.
yeah, and they're so great to work with. So yeah, so if Leandro suddenly didn't have time, I would just put the book on hold for a while until he had time, because I would not want to replace him.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would want to replace an artist that you've been working with for a while. It's just like, because at the end you kind of build this relationship, because even when you're not working with them, you're still kind of talking about movies and video games and stuff like that. At least that's what I do with my artist right now. But you just can't replace somebody. They can't do the book and be like, oh well, I'll just find someone else. It's like, it's kind of like not like that, because you've already built this relationship with the artist, and you kind of just want to finish it until the end. Just take it all the way through.
Absolutely. I mean, I would never stop him from pursuing a more lucrative job, but I would rather that he still continue to have time to work with me. So
Exactly. So,
yep.
So altogether, you guys are now doing your separate books and stuff like that, your separate campaigns. How long does this overarching plot go for? Like, how many issues are you guys planning to do for your each individual story and your overarching plot?
Adobe Kroger is currently scripted for 12 issues, but that is, of course, subject to change. But our goal is to eventually be able to put out, maybe 4 issues of each story per year, which is something that we're working towards with the Patreon model. But I don't want to go too far on that. How many issues are you planning to make, Matt and Brett?
I think I had about 6 or 7 planned for the first volume of Changeling.
And Matt?
For Mythics Volume 1, it'll be 5 issues. And I have it outlined for up to 25 issues for the overall story.
Nice.
Nice.
So,
Go
so
ahead.
yeah, so we're planned out in advance. We know where these stories are going to go, and we know how they're going to intertwine. There's already hints in Adobe Kroger #1 how it ties into Changeling, and ditto with Mythics.
Yeah, I saw those little connections. I was like, oh, Paladins. I just read that. That's cool. I like how you guys are intertwining everything.
Yeah. I think Mythics does the best job at tying the 3 properties together. Adobe's is much more subtle. Like, you have to sort of watch for it.
Yeah,
is
see,
there.
I didn't. When I was reading Adobe Kruger, I thought it was a completely different story. But when I read Mystics, they were, you saw the Changeling baby, which was, the main character changing, and then they mentioned Paladins, and I was like, oh, Paladins. Why are they talking about Paladins? And then I remember reading Adobe Kruger. I was like, oh, she's a Paladin. They must be talking about her. Oh, it's cool how this is all intertwined. This is great.
Yeah. So yeah, we're trying to like gradually build a shared setting that's rich, and each individual part of it stands strongly on its own. But if you pay attention, you will notice how they intertwine.
Much appreciated. I love that. I'm looking forward to seeing what is next. So we're kind of coming down to the end of our time together, folks. I don't know if we did this before, because you guys were one of the first few people who did the interview last year. But at the end of every segment, I like to ask creators, what's the one piece of advice you would give someone trying to run a campaign, successful campaign? And seeing as all you guys completely decimated your first campaign, could each of you give one piece of advice for aspiring artists out there to run a successful crowdfunding campaign? Just one piece from each of you.
Sure. One piece from me. All I'm going to say is build hype in advance. Don't just launch your campaign cold. You want to spend maybe a month or 2 putting artwork out there, talking yourself up, and be your own advocate. You have to sound excited. And when you present your work, like, have an exciting blurb describing it. Have an exciting blurb about the character. Most importantly, build the hype in advance.
Great. Next.
All right, so I'd have to say, don't expect to be funded on the first week or even early on in the month. It's going to take time to build up, especially if it's your first campaign. And if you don't make it on your first campaign, don't give up.
Love it.
Most campaigns usually get their funding on the second one.
Right.
I just said what I was gonna say. So, just to be, just say, don't get discouraged if you fail. You can always try again.
Right. Yeah, but a lot of people they do run their campaigns first, and then after that they just kind of give up. So, I've done that before. I don't think I've run a campaign since my first campaign failed, but I'm getting back on it, doing it again, and doing this show for other people too who are watching it, who are trying to get some ideas on how to run a campaign. This is why I like to bring creators on the show who have completely exceeded their expectations in running campaign, and kind of giving what they've learned and what they've done to people who are trying to do it. Because I mean, it's a great tool to have. It's a great skill to be able to market and raise money for something that you believe in and something that you've created. So this show is for everyone. It's just not for me. It's not for the creators. It's for everyone who's watching. So I really appreciate you guys coming on to the show. I am going to get a nice little refresher and reread the stories again before I go ahead and get on that crowdfunder for Mythics issue 2. So that one is going currently now. How many weeks do you have left, Matt?
2 weeks left.
2 weeks left in your campaign, and you're about a third of the way there with about 40 backers, I believe, right?
Yep.
And Dan and Brett, you guys are going to be, who's next up to run their campaign?
That would be me.
Yeah, Brett's going next. And yeah, like I said, we're going to launch that. I would say shortly after Mythics funds and fulfills.
Okay.
So maybe a month after the conclusion of the campaign, we should be able to verify that everyone's got everything from the campaign, and then we'll go ahead and launch Changeling. So expect that maybe, I don't know, late June perhaps.
Sounds about right. Cool.
Yep.
Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you for guys coming on the show. If you guys are interested in getting issue 2 of Mythics, the link will be in the description. Go down there, get your issue number 2. Also, one more question, Matt. Are you going to be giving away issue number 1 for those who didn't take advantage of the first campaign?
Yes, and we have a limited release of the issue 1 variant cover.
There you go, folks. Well, go down there and link in the description. Go to that page, get your copy of Mythic season 2, Mythic issue 2. And Dan and Brett, you guys are soon to follow. So if you guys have your pages up already, send me those links so I can put those in the description too, so people can get notified when you guys go live. If you guys have that up already.
Okay.
All right.
Will do. Thanks for having us on, Will.
No problem, guys. You guys keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on doing the storytelling. I love it. I know everyone else who loves it because you guys are just crushing the game right now with indie comics. So much appreciated with what you guys are giving us. So until next time, folks, I will see you guys on Twitter.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Guys. Have a good
Thanks,
weekend.
Will.
Make sure you wash your hands so we can all go back outside.
Thoroughly. Yes, please.
At least 2 minutes. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
It was 20. I heard it was 20 seconds.
20 seconds. It must be a Washington thing because Nevada, they're like, make sure you wash your hands for 2 minutes. I'm like, 2 minutes?
Look. Alton Brown put up a hand washing tutorial. That's all you need.
Oh, God.
Well, Matt should appreciate this. Just recite the litany of fear while you're doing it.
I have to wear a mask at work. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No one's wearing a mask here. I'm not wearing a mask. Everyone's like wearing a mask. We all look like ninjas. I mean, I wanted to dress up as a ninja all my life, and now we get the authority to do it, and I'm like, no, because everyone's doing it. It kind of takes away the fun of being a ninja. So, whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys, enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys on Twitter.
Absolutely.
Bye.
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 And that is it for this episode of Indie Choice Picks. Guys, we made it to season 3. I'm excited. I am so stoked to get new creators onto this show. If you are an indie comic book creator or a writer or whatever, as long as it's indie, I want you guys to come onto this show. I am now taking submissions to have guests onto this show, and you guys are all welcome to come and join me on the show. I think I said show more than once. Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at Heroic Studios, or you can hit me up on Instagram, Will at Heroic Studios. Both of my tags and links to my social media is right there. So please let me know if you guys are interested in coming onto the show. I will see you guys next time with another fun-filled, exciting